got space. Yoo! Oh my gosh. Really not.
Yeah!
I'm talking about steel frames. If you don't already know and you're tuning in for the first time, I ride a Kona Hanzo ESD. Okay, extra slack dude, that's what that stands for. Seriously, look it up. This frame is steel. It's 7 pounds, the frame only, and it's chromoly steel. This frame is unbelievable, okay? In my personal opinion, okay, this is just my opinion, I think all hardtails should be steel frame. That may not appeal, obviously, to everyone, weight weenies in particular. But I am not a weight weenie. This bike, totally built up as it sits right here in front of you, is 33.8 pounds, okay? Here's the bike. There it is. Built up, 33.8 pounds, okay? Is that for everyone? No. I honestly think steel is the best frame material for a hardtail, and let me tell you why. This is just my opinion. Take it for what it's worth, okay? Steel on a hardtail it's not compliant in my mind. I don't use the word compliant for my frame. I use words like deadened and quiet and almost like a supple feel. I thought initially I don't want steel because steel rusts. I don't want a rusty bike. But once I got past that and I talked to a few people that own bike shops in the city, and they said that steel is amazing for a hardtail. So I took a big chance on this bike. I really did. It was out of my comfort zone. It's out of what I know, right, at the time. But after riding this bike, it's so quiet on the trails. It feels like when you do a drop or when you're on like really chunky, chattery stuff, this bike just is glued. It feels just, I can't really describe the feeling of it. It sounds, first of all, like it's deadened. Like when you drop a drop, it just is, it doesn't clap, it doesn't make any other sounds. It's so quiet when you land. When you're going through chatter and chunky, gnarly stuff, it's quiet. It feels supple. You too, bud. Woo. Oh, there's that catch rock. Oh man. You too, buddy. Feels so good. Nice. It just feels like it absorbs things. I really don't know how to describe it. It just feels really, really good. The difference in the feeling between the aluminum and the steel is the aluminum just feels harder. It feels like when you're going down and you're hitting chunk and you're hitting whatever, like drops and stuff, it feels like when you land or when you're going through that stuff, it feels like it's just pounding you. It's pounding you. You're absorbing all that energy through your body. This steel frame feels like it absorbs most of that energy before it transfers it to your body. So I really, really noticed the difference in feeling between the aluminum frame and the steel frame with regards to that. That's why I'm thinking, in my opinion, that steel is the way to go for hardtail, because you don't have that rear suspension to soak that stuff up, right? Rear suspension does all that work, right? Whereas a hardtail, your legs are your rear suspension, right? And your arms and your core and everything, right? It all works together. So in my mind, after riding this frame for a full season now, the frame material characteristics of steel is unbeatable, in my opinion, just my humble opinion, for a hardtail, right? I can't even imagine what it would be like on a full suspension. It would probably be like super, super good, like super good. Problem is, it's already heavy enough, right? The full suspensions, right? They're usually, well, they've come down a lot, but usually, you know, they're in the 33 to 38 pound range. You know, give or take, of course, depending on the model. I know, there's lighter and there's heavier, I know. But I can't imagine what this would feel like if you get over the weight penalty. What this would feel like on a full suspension probably would be so good, because in a hardtail, it's so good. So good. So if you're thinking of a steel frame and you're kind of on the fence, give it a shot. If you don't mind the weight, that is, right? Because you're looking at a difference between 2 to 4 pounds depending on the frame, right? Depending on the frame. And of course, depending on what frame you're looking at, that's aluminum. But the feeling, like I said, the feeling is just so good. Also, if you're thinking of a steel frame, you should try and find one and get on one. If your buddy has one, or somebody on the local ride, or you go to a shop and you just get on one and feel it. Even though, you know, if you tool around the parking lot for like 5 minutes, you can't really get a good solid feel for it. But all I know is from my experience and from the experience of many other steel frame hardtail owners, is that they just cannot be beat. Did you ride a aluminum frame and then get a steel and feel immediate differences like I did? Or are you like, oh man, what did I do? I bought a steel frame for hard. Why did I do that? I honestly can't imagine anyone saying that after they've ridden one. I can't. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you are on the fence, I would very much consider a steel frame. See you on the next one, and keep the rubber side down.